जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Chennai Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
CSK sure played like four-time champions. They were absolutely clinical in the field and could do no wrong. Welcome back to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami Kher and I have Shaun Pollock and Vaughan with me. Well, the man who we spoke about a lot led that downfall. Jadeja broke Hyderabad's back.
Yeah, excellent. I thought MS behind the stumps was terrific with the gloves, but also as a captaincy, he just got all his manoeuvres right. The pitch looks like it's just a little bit grabby, it's sticking in the surface, but they never quite got going. I thought of the initial 3 or 4 overs with Harry Brook and Sharma at the top, it looked like a 186 pitch.
Oh,
you get that,
no
186?
one got it wasn't even a 166.
And then all of a sudden,
pitch.
Harry, he's looking dangerous, he gets out, and it just didn't get going. There was, a few innings that started to show a bit of promise, but they just kept on losing wickets at key times.
Yeah, anyone whose predictions are at least 50 out. 50 out, I mean.
100 out yesterday.
Well,
50 out today. He's improving.
There's no VAT on 68 to 100, is there? 68 out.
Yeah, not very good, but anyway. Yeah, it was, we had a look at their home record and how well they do there. And it's because of the nature of that surface. Every once in a while you rock up there, and most of the time it's a decent pitch, but every once in a while you rock up and it's just holding. And they are prepared for it, particularly when they win the toss and bowled first. You never know what's a good score, and to change your mindset, to change your game plan, to adapt to the conditions is not easy. I mean, look at those bowlers. What's the worst? 9 and over, Moeen Ali, 2 overs for 18. But the rest of them were brilliant. They got shape up front that didn't pick up too many wickets. But the spinners have just dictated terms, and then Patriano comes at the back end. And his last 2 overs were phenomenal. Yes, he was bowling to the lesser batters down the order, but still, I mean, you don't often see these days where a guy has a swing at, he's on strike for 5 or 6 balls, has a swing at all of them, and maybe makes contact with 1 or 2. And Janssen's a decent player, he has that ability to strike it. So there's definitely something in his action and something in the pitch, but this should be a doddle for them. I think they'll try and kill it in the first 6 overs.
It was actually a bowler's dream today because there was a little bit of something in the pitch, but there was never a partnership to worry the change of bowler. Every time a bowler came on, really, they were just starting a partnership. There was never a substantial partnership, and it's like, Polly, you suddenly get given the ball and there's a partnership of 6, you're going, oh no, I've got to try and bowl the 2 players that are in. There was never that. So all the bowlers, every time that MS threw the ball, that's why it looked so good. Every time they got the ball, it was like, well, the partnership's only at 10 at most. There was never anything to really concern them about. That's down to the brilliance of Chennai. It's down to them knowing the pitch. It's down to the captaincy. And with Polly, last night I thought it was, I said at the halfway, I thought it might get a bit edgy because of Delhi. Because of the way that they've not been winning games, I think this will be a stroll in the park for Chennai.
But we were a little surprised that Mayank came down so late because he got that 48 in the last game. So I couldn't quite understand that strategy to send him down at 6.
Yeah, when it got down as low as he did, it did seem like a surprise. I mean, I worked out the left-hand or right-hand. I got that because they didn't want to have Harry Brook targeted down one end where they could just bowl spin at 2 right-handers. But I think also he'll be disappointed. You're disappointed not to go at the top of the order and you come down at 6 or 7, whatever it may be. But he just had to have a bit of cricket smarts going there. I mean, he had 2 balls to go in Jadeja's spell. He was the danger man. He fires it in, and as he fires, it just grips, and it's so difficult to get away. You just had to get through that. 2 singles would have done. To charge down, miss it, get stumped. He was the one who would have been able to play the other spinners and maybe adapt to these surfaces better than anyone else who was coming. So I think he'll be disappointed he didn't get a chance at the top, but he's got to be disappointed with his dismissal.
But Jadeja was also quite unplayable because he's now become the highest wicket taker in those middle overs of the season. So he's someone who comes, delivers whenever he's thrown the ball.
Man of platinum, that's what you get. You pretty much know what he's going to deliver. He's going to deliver consistency. When he gets a pitch that spins, he's deadly. I don't think there was a huge amount of spin, but he's got great variation. Look at that economy, 5.5, 8 dots. So they were manoeuvring for 1s and 2s, but he's getting key wickets. He's Mr. Reliable. I think I like the fact that he doesn't celebrate his wickets as much as he used to. He just seems to have that steel about him these days. That he just gets his job done. The captain behind the stumps, he doesn't celebrate wickets either. He just goes, all right, that's next. Get back to your fielding positions. We've got a new batter to bowl to. He's quality, Jadeja.
Please, not steal. That platinum about him.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But he was a little angry today because when Klaasen, he couldn't get that cotton ball, and Klaasen was, well, not really in his way. He smartly turned around, but he was still obstructing Jadeja. We saw the angry Jadeja, and then Dhoni said, just calm down, we'll get it done soon.
What was that? What's that terminology for a punch?
It took you.
Well done.
See, that's what's happening.
I think when you look at Jadeja, I mean, surfaces around India in test matches and here at Chennai suit him because he's one of those guys who can fire it with real accuracy. He doesn't have to throw it up in the air. And if as it pitches, it just grips. It really is difficult for the batters to get away, and that's what he uses to his advantage there in Chennai. And that's what makes him so good. I mean, he doesn't have to change any game plan. It's just keep it simple, keep it consistent, and the surface is done for him. And no surprise, in those middle overs, he dictates terms. He's accurate. He's a brilliant fielder for his own bowling. He's going to love every single game they play on that pitch.
I like Jadeja a lot, but in a boxing contest, I reckon Klaasen wins. I just think he's a bit bigger. He's a different weight. He's a different weight category, so he's not winning that battle.
They won't play in the same category so well.
No.
Jadeja won on the field today, but someone else who won was Dhoni because he's unstoppable behind the stumps. He's the best that the country's seen, and he's now become the highest. He's got the most catches in T20 cricket. Yeah,
I think if we go back to last night and the two stumpings that were missed, the keeper was taking the ball and he's gathering it away, and it's a long time then to go back to the stumps. Dhoni's the best in the business. He almost knows the ball's going to be there. He keeps his hands out and just, as fast as lightning, just whips the bails off. He's a genius behind the stumps. He just and keeping is not easy. It's a very hard skill. When he's keeping well, and I think he's keeping well at the minute for a man of his age who's not practiced at all in a year, whether he's been in the back garden just catching a few balls, I've no idea. But he makes keeping look so easy, and it's certainly not an easy skill. Do you all
know this film star called Rajinikanth? Have you all heard of Rajinikanth? He's one of the biggest superstars of the country. So there are like jokes that Rajinikanth can do anything. It's similar with Dhoni because Dhoni can do anything, especially the no-look stumping that he does. I mean, not stumping, run out when the ball comes in, and he doesn't look and he just flicks it to the stumps.
Yeah, most keepers are sneaky, and even with his dodgy knee, he's still going all right. I think standing up to the stumps will be probably the easiest part with that knee. But he's so experienced in that ground, and he knows what to expect. And you can almost see he loves it when they're starting to squeeze them, and he knows he's going to be in business. It's not long before he gets himself an opportunity to have a stumping.
Dhoni, the captain, sure knows how to groom talent because the way he's backing a Pati Rana to always go and bowl in the death, gave him those overs. Tushar Deshpande, who he's really back from game one. So he knows how to groom his talent. One can say that we've seen this over the years.
Yeah, he is. He's very good at doing that. I mean, they run with their side. It's not like chop and changing, and that's what we discussed at the start of the show. When he gives you a chance, if you do your job, you get a few more gigs. You get time to settle, and that's what he's doing for them now.
All right, now I'm going to do this with a straight face, but Chennai come to bat. And when Chennai come to bat, there's one man, Ajinkya Rahane 2.0, who's come out, who's been extremely powerful in the power play. He's got the best strike rate in the power play this season. So I'll keep my straight face, but the numbers do the talking to see what this 34-year-old...
I think you should talk about it.
No.
What have you seen?
The experts to do it.
No, but the thing about him, he's got the 100 runs, he's faced the 40 balls. It's just the 3 innings for him so far. But over the years, everyone would say, Rahane's strike rate, come on, we can't do this, he can't do that, he can't do that. And I just think he's worked his game plan out. I think he's playing with a bit of finesse, he's playing with a little bit more freedom. I think he's enjoying the environment he's in, and he is dictating terms, and I think he's been a revelation. For someone who's was in and out of most teams he was playing, never kind of solidified his place when he did get a chance, didn't overperform. He really has kind of thinking maybe last throw of the dice. This is how I'm going to play it, and it's working well.
And I think when you say last throw of the dice, I think it's a really dangerous mindset because he's almost just going for it. He's freedom, he's got this role that clearly MS has said to him, go on, just try and hit boundaries, go and have some fun. And when you see a strike rate from Ajinkya Rahane at 222, all right, it's only over a short period of games, but you then look at KL Rahul, the way that he's playing in the power play, and KL Rahul's got as much as a game as Ajinkya Rahane. So it's just a mindset difference that you've got one player that's coming out with pure freedom. He's not fearing getting out. You know, he's got the captain that's going, go on, exploit the first 6 overs. And then you've got KL Rahul, who looks like he's kind of playing within himself and almost playing too technical. And I reckon KL Rahul could have exactly the same numbers that we've just seen on the screen of Ajinkya Rahane.
Who did he replace Uttapa, right?
Ajinkya?
Robin was there at 3. Wasn't he batting at 3 for
Robin
Chennai?
was some time ago. Who's Ajinkya in for?
That's what I couldn't work out. I was thinking about the other day. I remember Robin in Dubai. He played in the final.
Well, Ben Stokes was out because of the injury, so that's how Ajinkya got into the team, I think. So we didn't know which place he'd play at. We were surprised that he'd open, but it's probably because he got that game in, if I remember correctly, when Mohan had that bug and Ben Stokes was out.
Yeah.
So he got in and then he's just played very well. Eric Simons, actually, the bowling coach, the ex-bowling coach who's still with the team now, said that Ajinkya is someone who everyone seems to be very surprised with the way he's striking the ball, but he said he wasn't very surprised because he's someone who's very clever. He knows that he has to just time the ball well and not play unnecessarily risky shots. That's what he's doing and that's what's working for him.
Yeah, I mean, we actually worked with him. He was part of the side I played with the Mumbai Indians at 2008, and he was a real find. We thought he was brilliant. Technique-wise, he had the ability to uppercut and just flick in it. I just think he's kind of maybe got caught between what his game plan should or shouldn't be over the years. And then once the stigma was attached to him, he kind of didn't manage to shake the shackles of the fact that he's too slow. And because he sat out as much as he had, and now he gets his opportunity, I just think there's a freedom, as Vaughan says, a freedom in his mind of, like, you know what, I'm coming to the back end here. However many RPL seasons I play from now on is a bonus. I'm going to have fun. And it's worked for him. And also the team environment, I think it's very settled. He knows he's not going to go to the top of the order because you've got Conway and Raj at the top. So he'll come in at number 3 and he'll just keep doing what he's doing. So even when he comes in the past, if he come in the power play, he would have been thinking, oh, let me just knock it around. But he still backs himself, even from the first few deliveries.
Oh, well, he's been backing himself and doing very well. But someone who's not been doing very well in the power play are the Hyderabad bowlers. They've been pretty expensive. Umran Malik is back in today, but 135 to defend. They've been going for quite a lot of runs in the power play.
Yeah, they've travelled. That's exactly what they don't need. Tonight they have to come out the power play having won it, and I think the only way that they get back in this game is winning that power play, getting 2 or 3 early wickets and putting Chennai under pressure. But you know, sometimes when you have this kind of period where the power play is not working for you with the ball in hand, it's hard to get that right. You start to get a bit panicky, don't you, with the ball in hand, and 1 or 2 boundaries go, you think, oh, here we go again. It's the same as the last game. It's been a common trend for a few games now. So someone's got to set the tone right in that first over, almost get a wicket in the first over to get them a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, Bhuvi and Jansen, I mean, Bhuvi hasn't swung it as much as he has in the years gone by, but we did see some swing initially here. So he might like the fact of that. There we can see his performances so far, 4 wickets. And Jadeja, I'm sure he's been introduced, or maybe they might have gone for the spin option. But yeah, they've got the ability to strike and pick up early wickets, but they haven't managed to do so as yet. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think Umran Malik's the right option personally on this surface.
On this surface,
I think you're running off with too much pace on the ball. He's not a major man for variations and cutters and whatever it may be. So I think they'll wait until after the power play to give him a go and see if he can be effective.
Do you think we'll get probably to see like a Washington Sundar probably in the power play?
Yeah, if Devon Conway's on strike, they might just try and nip the off-spinner in. That's why they go right and left-handed. They possibly can, but they've got 2 lefties. So yeah, he's a good option. There's been a bit of purchase. You feel like last night for KKR to win the game, the spinners had to work. You feel tonight that the spinners are going to have to work for the Sunrisers for them to win this game.
We spoke about Mayank. He's been very impressive. So I think between a Washington Sundar and a Mayank, they'd hope to strike early if they come in the power play.
Yeah, I think I would initially still give Bhuvi and Marco Jansen an opportunity with the swing through the air and say to them, I mean, maybe 1 over up front, and then say to them, okay, let's see if you can get the ball to shape. Because even if you hit back of a length, it hasn't been easy to pop it over the top. And there's that short boundary if you've got the left-hander, right-hander combination. So you think, okay, we'll target Conway. He sweeps the first one. And then it goes and just whacks it down the ground. So, yeah, I think they might try 1, but I would still like the Seamers to be given a chance to see what they can possibly do.
Well, there's another Mayank that's come in today for Hyderabad. There's Mayank Dagar who's come in for Hyderabad. So they've got the spin option in. So Rahul Tripathi is out and Mayank Dagar comes in. So clearly it's the pitch. The pitch is holding, gripping. It is a little slow, so good option to go with.
Yeah, I think that's the right option. I think having seen it for the first 20, there's certainly more there for the spinners. Patharana was excellent because he's got that awkward action, but really it was the spinners that did the damage. And you just feel that they're going to have to get early wickets, and it might be that they have to gamble in the first 6 with more spin and almost say to the batters, go on, try and play the big shots, try and hit it over the top, and hopefully 1 or 2 balls go in the air. It's taken. They're going to have to. If you go back to last night, KKR's fielding let them down, and they should have won that game on the back of trying to defend that really low total. Their fielding wasn't good enough. If they field well tonight and they catch everything and they take a couple of run-outs, you just never know. But you just feel with Chennai on the home territory, they're just going to be too powerful. They've got too much depth in that batting as well.
And who's Rayudu?
Who's Raidu?
Is he coming in?
We haven't announced that yet. We just wait and watch because they take their time to announce who's coming in.
Because he also plays brilliantly against the spin. I mean,
How much time do you have to make this decision as a team?
You can make a change
They can make the
after a
decision
while.
at any point.
Yeah.
They just got, at any
And that's the
point.
signal, is it?
You can delay.
Are you sure is that the signal?
That's the signal.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the signal. And then they take forever to get the players in. So there's 2 people signal, one the umpire and then someone at the boundary
Do you
line.
remember having it in international cricket? Were you playing in those days?
I probably was. I can't remember.
We used to have,
What year was it?
we actually had in South Africa, we were the first to try it, and it was called the total
You'll
power
have tried
series.
this.
Yeah, the substitution. I can't remember when we were allowed to or not allowed to make it. But there was Barry Lamson. They didn't do this. He used to do a dance, This is the substitution dance. So that's better than just that.
Yeah, I
isn't
like
it?
it.
mean,
Yeah, you should be
this is
able-
like changing your decision.
Yeah, and
I
every
think-
umpire should have a different
Yeah.
dance. You should have your own dance.
I'll just complicate it all for the producers, but maybe we'll wait to see what dance you can pull out. We'll give the suggestion to the people concerned. But I think it's time that we play like a team now. Because we've been competing with each other and we've struggled. We are 50, 60 runs away. So I think let's play like a team and at least try getting together. At least one of us should win.
Okay, so
instead
we
of
do
competing.
5-run splits, right?
Oh, no. We have to do a power play score at the 6-over point. But I think we should just, wish well for each other and hope someone wins. So power play score at the 6-over point.
Okay,
Okay, I'll go 44.
49.
44,
And you gotta go
49,
lower, go
and
lower.
I'll go higher. But Ajinkya is batting, and there's
That's it.
Conway, and there's Ruturaj batting. I'll go 52.
So go like a team and do it your way, right?
Yes. Yeah. So let's go
Yeah.
five.
Big
Yeah, so
speech.
you're 44, 49, and I'm sure it's meant to be 54. You go 52.
Yeah, I'm 49. I'm so close to you.
No, exactly.
Well,
That's why
we're
you've
gonna
got to
get
give a
5
5
runs
split.
in between.
We've got to get a bigger spread.
Oh, you want a bigger spread?
So you've got to go at least 54.
All right, I'm going to fall for the team pressure and go for 54 because I'm a team player, so I'll fall for the team pressure. We'll wait and see if our team wins. Right now, we have Gaurav Kapoor downstairs, so I'm sure he's ordered some really delicious food. We're going to go and have our dinner. You all grab your dinner too, but don't forget to join us at the 10-over point at the Cricbuzz Combox.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction,
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
Hyderabad Co Express Polobosi Station Netaji Bhavan कृपया ध्यान दें